All right. I know the man is doing something right now. When he gets here, we'll keep it moving. Plat's doing his thing right now in his platform. So you want to do this show quick. So I'm up and running. Afternoon, everybody. On a short notice, I apologize for this. But it's all good. Ravens in the building. The weird Dolph fan is in the building. Waiting for Platt to pull up. Guys, how you doing? All right, first of all, I'm going to congratulate Raven Knight, even though Raven and Toya and Coach, I told you all, and I'm going to do the thumbnail, it's going to be him Friday night. It's him by himself. I told you guys the day he was hired, a year ago, that Texas is going to be a sleeper in the American League and they would make the playoffs. Little did I know that Texas obliterated the Houston Astros in Houston. And there were about a good 20,000 Ranger fans at Minute Maid Park. And this is a little something people don't know. This is the Texas Rangers' third World Series in 13 years. Now, it's been a while for Texas, but they're back in the World Series. You guys hijacked the WWE last night. And it was the first WWE I was distracted. Okay. It's a good reason why. I wasn't on last night, but when the Rangers won, I was going to come on. But I said, nah, I'll wait till tonight to come on. And Raven, do yourself a favor. Get you a weekend plan in Arlington. Get used to this. Because I told you, Bruce Bochy's one of the greatest managers of all time. First manager ever to take 3 different teams to the World Series. Shout out to my man. Everybody at the AAC was decked out. I text you something this morning in Platinum's room. I'm dead serious. I would predict 2 weeks from today. Excuse me, folks. Or tomorrow, there'll be a parade in downtown Arlington because I don't see the Phillies and the Diamondbacks will give you a series. Trust me. But the difference is Bruce Bochy. And when you say in sports, coaches don't matter, oh, they matter. Because now what's happening is, and I'm so happy about this, They're getting rid of these IT guys and these analytics guys, and now they're going back to the managers, the baseball lifers. QZ in the building. They're going back to the baseball lifers now. And Raven, I'm dead serious. Get used to playing championship baseball. As long as Bruce Bochy can breathe, he's never leaving that place. He's not leaving. Well, a phenomenal job by the Texas Rangers. In 1 year, they have ended the Astros' reign in the American League. Third time's the charm. Listen to this. In 2010, Bochy beat Dusty. Dusty lost his job. In 2014, he beat Dusty. Dusty lost his job. And now he beat Dusty again. And Dusty retired last night after the game. So the Texas Rangers, Bruce Bochy, who I told everybody, Dusty Baker wanted this series so bad. And as usually what Dusty Baker does, and I love Dusty, Dusty choked it away. Can't make it up. As the Go-Go Power Rangers, and they showed their power last night, and they flexed their muscle last night, got the job done, and they will host the World Series Friday night in Arlington, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7:05 down in Arlington, Texas. And you better believe, Philadelphia, you can want to get into a slug match with this team, you're going to regret it. I'll tell you that right now. You're going to regret it. Don't want that. I'm telling you. You don't want it. Not against the Texas Rangers. You do not want to go swing for swing with Texas. Texas is a loaded gun. And they are 4 wins away, like Mark Cuban sent them the telegram late last night. You're 4 wins away from bringing it all home to Dallas. If the Rangers win, they will join an elite group of cities in this country that all their sports teams have won world championships. And Dallas now will be considered a sports destination forever if the Rangers pull it off. And I believe they will. So congratulations to the Texas Rangers. I don't know why Ravens giving the FU finger for. It's supposed to be a celebration. Let me reach out to this clown, see if he's ready. I told him I was pulling up. Let me see. All right, Iceman is on right now. Oh, he was on already. Looks like Platinum is off, so he'll be pulling up. Again, Texas wins the American League. They deserve that. Trust me, they do. So, looking around, see if he's on. Yeah, he's still on. Let me hear him up. All right, Platinum. Now, I'll take you up here to 5 o'clock. As Platinum is teaching brothers how to pick up white women. You can't make this shit up. I don't know, man. Tuesday. Platinum will be up here in a couple hours after the show. So we'll add Platinum to our night show, which we're going to talk a lot about Lamar Jackson. Guys, you want to pull up, pull up. Want to hear Laura apologize and bend that knee? Kane's in the building, pull up. QZ, you want to pull up? Raven, you too. We'll do Lamar Jackson tonight, fellas. That's right. We'll do that man on the left tonight. Michigan is strong, bro. I'm looking forward to that matchup. Yo, Dad, if you're not doing nothing, pull up. I dropped the link, bro. What's your opinion on Michigan? Yeah, Michigan's tough. Michigan, Ohio State. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about college football this year. Mace, today I was walking in the city center, and this black woman was looking mad at me while passing me by. A Becky clerk in the store made my day, though, by being very friendly and feminine. Yeah, I could talk about that. We'll talk about Lamar Jackson for this hour I'm on, because to me, he is the leading candidate to win the MVP. Let me talk about that a little bit. Okay. Now, unlike a lot of these brothers who want to get access, Kirk Cousins is actually MVP right now. Minnesota makes the playoffs. He'll get a lot of votes. I'm not kidding about that. I heard he had a big game last night. I was watching baseball last night. And Brock Purdy is just a regular guy. Tua is a good quarterback. He's not elite, but he's good. Like I said, for Miami to win, they're going to need that running game. Only 42 yards in the ground, that's not going to cut it. And that game was 17-17 to the fourth quarter. But the bottom line is this. My opinion, Philadelphia shoved Miami around. Took y'all this long to figure out Purdy is a regular guy. Hey, I'm not a Purdy dude, first of all. Yeah. Kenny Pickett's coming on. Pittsburgh's coming on now. Lamar is back. Wait till you see the thumbnail I got for him later tonight in the night show. Miami now, many people are saying, can't take them seriously because they haven't beaten a real good team. That is true. I mean, and give a shout out to Coach Mike McDaniel, because he said that yesterday in his press conference. He said for his team to get what they want, they have to beat good teams. He's right. That's why I love that coach. He's honest. Last night, Purdy was bad. No, it doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me, man. I'm up here for the next to 5 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to cook my dinner, bro. I mean, single men got no women in your life. You're going to be cooking. Because none of these hoes are going to cook for you. Oh, yeah, I'm doing the game up here Sunday. That boy, I'm doing the game up here Sunday. Thank you, QZ. Yeah, I'm doing the game Sunday. I never see more men we eating cooked meals though. No, I'm cooking my own meals, man. I go to the supermarket every 2 to 3 weeks, buy a whole bunch of groceries. I spend like about $160 on my grocery. I don't eat a lot because I'm on a plan because of my kidney. I got to keep it alive and fresh and new. I got to eat very differently. I haven't done the thumbnail yet, but you double up here, header up here on Sunday. The early game is Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. The late game is the Bengals and the Niners. And then next week, I'm going to be on early in the morning, guys. Get you set up. 4 games next Sunday, folks. Here you go. The early game. Miami and the Chiefs. That's at 9:30 Eastern. The mid-afternoon game. Mace, I'm prepping. I learned my lesson last time, and there is a lot going on in the world now. You're damn right. The middle game is going to be Dallas and Philly because I don't get it in New York. So I'll bring you the game, and we'll all watch at the same time because I don't get the game in New York. That day they're showing Raiders and Giants. So let me take a look at the night game next Sunday. And it's a good night game next Sunday night. Dolphins, Chiefs, Seahawks, and Ravens, Cowboys, and Eagles. And then this is the Dat Boy special. If Buffalo loses this game, Buffalo's done. Buffalo at Cincinnati is your night game. So I'll be on all day with nothing but football next Sunday. Let me drop the link again. You can pull up. Got my Paul Warfield Dolphins baseball jersey in the mail. Looks very, very beautiful. So, getting the greatest Dolphins to ever play the game. The only dynasty in Miami in the early 70s. I was a little child. I got to see all of it. My mother made me watch it. And I'm looking at my Warfield jersey hanging right now. I got Jake Scott in the mail yesterday. This is the Bengals season right here, the next coming month. Yeah, you're right about that. If you could pull up that, pull up. Lamar Jackson tonight. So get ready for that. Look at that division. Cleveland. It's looking like the Browns are going to make the switch to P.J. Walker. We'll talk about that Friday night. Look at the division. Ravens 5-2. Steelers and Browns 4-2. What a game for Myles Garrett. Wow. We'll talk about him later tonight. And the Bengals are 3-3. Wow. So, I said to everybody this was the best division in football. It is the best division in football. Right. I'm gonna look at the Ravens schedule right now. And they got Seattle next week. We're gonna do that game next Sunday. Here's the Ravens. At Arizona, they're gonna win that one. Seattle will be there next Sunday. Cleveland at 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 Baltimore, week 10. Bengals, week 11. That is Thursday night football. We're gonna do that game. We'll do that game. At the Chargers, boy, they play the Chargers. Shit, we may have to do that game. That's a Sunday night. Yeah, we'll do that one. That's Sunday night. Rams at home at Jacksonville. That's Sunday night football again. So the Ravens are going to play back-to-back Sunday night football games. At San Francisco, Christmas night, we'll do that one. That's an ESPN game. Miami at home and the Steelers at home. So so basically, and looking at the Ravens schedule, folks, is very interesting, to say the least. Their bye is week 13. They're going to play competition after Arizona. So after Arizona, the Seahawks, the Browns, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Rams, Jacksonville, San Francisco, Miami, and Pittsburgh. You can argue that if the Ravens get through that, let's say 7-3, they deserve to be the 1 seed in the NFL. And they just finished dusting off the Lions. From week 9 on, I'm going to say it again for the Baltimore Ravens. Seattle will be there next Sunday. Cleveland, I'll think about it. Bengals in Thursday night football, I will do that game. At the Chargers, I'll do that game. The Rams, no, I'll skip it. At Jacksonville on a Sunday night, we'll do that one. That's going to be a big game. That could be for the 2 or the 1 seed. At the Niners, Christmas night, I'll be up here to do it. Miami, I'll be in here to do it New Year's Eve at home, and then the Steelers at home. Ravens play a murderous schedule, folks, after this week. This is a second bye week for them. I'm prepping for my meal. Yeah, I'll be gone. You go eat that, boy. Yeah. You're looking at the Ravens right now, folks. They play a monstrous schedule. probably the toughest in the NFL, beginning next Sunday. Like I said, this Sunday they got a bye against Arizona. Lamar Jackson, after Arizona, okay, if he goes 7-2 on that stretch, he is clearly the MVP of the league. I don't want to hear about nobody else. He gets through that. He is clearly the MVP of the NFL. I don't want to hear about, oh, this guy was in the conversation. This man right here is playing a gauntlet of a schedule after this week. Okay? And I'll take you up to a 4:45 my time. I gotta go cook. Okay? So Lamar Jackson, boy, I saw that game live, folks. I haven't seen Lamar play that well since his Heisman Trophy year at Louisville. Okay. Those last 9 games, that young man right there plays on the left. He gets through all of those games. I'm talking about 7-2, because they're going to beat Arizona. 13-4, he's the MVP of the league. I don't want to hear 12-5, he's the MVP of the league. Strength of schedule. Okay? He's the MVP of the league if he gets through that turbulence. And I don't want to hear no questions from anybody else. Iman, I know why you said Kirk Cousins. And Minnesota can make a run. That's a big game Sunday against the Packers. That's a huge game. So, Kirk Cousins now the number 1 passer. Mahomes, Tua, Josh Allen, all 1 touchdown behind. Russell Wilson's having a great year, but maybe the Broncos could turn it around. In other words, folks, there's nobody killing it at the quarterback position. But Mahomes is coming on strong. Let me see where Lamar Jackson is. All right, Lamar got 8-3. So somebody got a 107 quarterback rating? Oh, Brock Purdy. I don't want to get into Brock Purdy. He's a good quarterback for them. Mace, what sport did you play as a youth? I played all of them, but baseball was my best sport. Baseball. QZ baseball was the sport I played the most. That's why I love baseball. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm looking at it right now, and how could you not? Where is Laro? I don't know where Laro is. Raven's at work right now, looking at all the sisterhood around him. We'll talk about Lamar tonight. He's going to be the story later tonight when I come on the air. After this week, no one on the planet, beginning week 9, plays a tougher schedule than Lamar Jackson. We got Lamar Jackson against Bobby Wagner next week. And we're going to have 4 thumbnails for the 4 different games next Sunday. The first one will be Tua versus Mahomes. That's right, Raven. 8:30 your time in the morning, buddy, from Germany. Dolphins, Chiefs. Second one will be Lamar versus Bobby Wagner. The third one will be, of course, my man. You know who it is. Okay. He'll be the third thumbnail. Him against Jalen Hurts. And then the fourth thumbnail is easy. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Death match in Cincinnati. We're going to have that. It's all next Sunday up here. All 4 games. So pull up and enjoy it. And we'll have that next Sunday. Four games. Live up here next Sunday. Play by play. I'm going to love doing the games with you guys. Dolphins, Chiefs. I think the Dolphins are a little better. But the Chiefs is getting it together at the right time. And their bye week is week 10. They got a tough schedule too. Because they played the Broncos twice already. They haven't played the Raiders yet. So that'll be interesting. Since I'm up here, let me do a little bit of the aftermath of the NFL Sunday. First of all, Miami and Philly. One thing I will say to the Miami fan, 10 penalties to 0, you have every right to complain. That said, your quarterback only threw for 216 yards. A touchdown, I believe he had 1 or 2 picks. I'm not sure. Let me see something. Tua going into that game was 45. He threw one pick. Okay. And the problem with Miami was I felt the Eagles felt comfortable playing them. That shove play they do, they was doing it in their own territory. That's how confident they were. Doing it. And Mike McDaniel, what a hell of a football coach. What a hell of a human being. Said it yesterday, the Miami media didn't want to hear it. Philly's more experienced. Philly is legit. Philly is the best team you can argue in football right now. Miami haven't beaten a good team. Came out of the coach's mouth. That's why I love Mike McDaniel. That's why the NFL media loves Mike McDaniel. He's upfront. Now, he sugarcoats some shit from time to time. You know? To be fair, the Dolphins didn't have their all-pro corners, Ramsey and Howard. Yeah, the problem though, Iman, the Eagles beat them on the ground, bro. That's the problem. And I'll say it again for Miami. And Chris Greer, listen good. You better send your scouts to do three things going into next year's draft. Number one, snag one of these hotshot quarterbacks to back up Tua. That's number one. Number two, get some goddamn linebackers that can clog up the middle and stop the run. Been saying this shit about this team for years. Yeah, pull up, Tony. I've been saying this shit about this team for years. Okay? And number three, can you get a tackle on the guard, please? You could get the middle of the draft. Can you do that, Miami? Can you do that? All right? I don't want to hear no more MVP talk about your quarterback. That's done. That man right there on the left, I just read his schedule after this week. Every game the Baltimore Ravens play, beginning next Sunday, week 9, is against a playoff contender. Okay? Let me read it off for you again one more time. People out here are so blind about your teams. Here you go. It's Baltimore the rest of the way after. They got Arizona this week. Here you go. Week 9. Okay? They got Seattle at home. We're doing that game next Sunday up here in the quadruple header, beginning with Miami and Kansas City at 9:30 in the morning. Okay? Next, Cleveland at home. Cincinnati at home. So they got 4 of 5 at home. Okay? Then they go to the Chargers. Then they play the Rams. Then they're at Jacksonville, at San Francisco, and then they finish the year with Miami and Pittsburgh at home. San Francisco Christmas night. I'll do that game. Jacksonville. So they're going to be back-to-back weeks on Sunday Night Football. Okay? So get used to that. All right? No one plays a tougher schedule than this team. So I don't want to hear people say, Let your boy, and this fan base knows what I'm talking about, let your boy beat a good team for once. Go ahead, Tony.
This pisses me off that they're kissing this kid's ass just because, like, I'm going to say, including last year, he's 1-5 in big games. He's 1-5. He's only won one big game. Tony, and that was Buffalo at the end of the year.
Tony, they're not kissing his ass no more. This is the man who they anointed. Right there, Lamar Jackson. He is the MVP to beat. No more number 1 in Miami. He's been dismissed. Haven't beaten a good team. Yo, nephew, pull up, man. Tie shirts in the building. Pull up, bro. The link is right here. Pull up. And I'm not doing Tua bashing because he doesn't deserve to
It's
get back.
honest.
Yeah, and Mike McDaniel's honest too. He said it yesterday at press conference. Until we beat a good team, we're not going to get respect. He's right. Now, if you beat the Chiefs, if they beat the Chiefs, that's going to go a long way for them getting respect. That's going to help them dramatically.
It's like, Uncle. It was like, it was. I'm going to use this as an example. It's like the Hurricanes. We came into the game against Clemson 0-2. We beat Clemson, and now people are giving us a little bit of respect. That's what you're, a little bit more respect and stuff like that. That's what you want the Dolphins. You think if the Dolphins beat the Chiefs, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, they'll get some respect. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I don't understand. Like I said this. I was going through the through actually. I need your opinion. When you look at that game, can you explain how there was no penalties on the Eagles?
Yeah, I'm going to kill the referees in the NFL tonight. Miami had 10 penalties to the Eagles 0. And the Rams, I saw that live. They got completely robbed. It was like Art Rooney II brought the referees with him to LA.
Yeah, and I said, like, when the most egregious one was that Darius Slay face mask on Cedric Wilson, how he grabbed his mask and basically yanked his. You could have snapped his neck doing what Darius Slay did. Like, how did you? So you think the referees were paid off in that game?
The Rams game, in the Dolphins game. And let me say something before I continue. You was missing 3 O-linemen and 2 All-Star QB with Philly not getting flags. Let me say this again, okay? Number one, Armstead, the Dolphins knew what they were getting when they paid them. And I even said it up here. You'll get at least 11 games a year out of them. So they like to sign damaged players, okay? Ty Church, nephew, they do. Number 2, Philly ran the ball right down their front. And when you're doing 3 times in your own zone of the field, doing that 4th and 1, I'm not even thinking about punting. Yeah, I'll be up here for you. He's at the doctor's office. He'll pull up in a little bit. And you are not, and you're going for it. And then the smugness. If you didn't see Nick Sirianni on the sidelines doing the fly eagle fly pose, flying around the sidelines, smiling at Mike McDaniel, and then in the press conference, boldly saying they should keep that push play they do, because they're the only team who can do it. Nobody else. We like he said, Sirianni, no one can duplicate it.
Actually, funny you should say that. Did you hear the announcers during that game say that multiple linebackers, like all pro, Pro Bowl line, all pro and Pro Bowl linebackers, say they should, like, that play causes linebackers to get injured because you're basically using your full weight of your offensive line to push the guy from the back and stuff like that.
Kelsey's brother said it best. He said, people don't realize when they do that play, there's a very good chance he can get paralyzed underneath all those players on the pile.
And
what's up, Mace? What up, Anthony?
Up, bro? How you doing, man? Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Just tuned in, listening in.
Yeah, and I said this on other panels, and Pete was on it. To me, this offensive line and defensive line in general, we're not a physical defensive line and offensive line in general, Mace. We're more finesse with the scheme we play.
Always been finesse. They've always been a finesse franchise.
Even when you guys were winning Super Bowls?
No, they were kind of finesse, yeah, but the difference was they had the best nose tackle in football. Why Manny Fernandez is not in the Hall of Fame, I don't get it. They had the best offensive line, you could argue, of all time. Them in the 70s and 74 to 80 Steelers.
Don't worry, Anthony. That's going to be their new agenda when they switch off the speed of Zoom, because they're going to move off of it shortly. They're going to say speed sucks. We need a more stronger team and a more physical team because this is football. And that's what Stephen Ross is going to be singing to the fan base to buy them in again when this whole new regime gets canned after this season. Because look, Mace, I came up here. I read a stat earlier. I wasn't even aware of this stat. You ready to hear this, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike McDaniel. I've been questioning him lately. I've been like, this guy's no genius, man. They threw this genius book at him too early just to try to sell it to the fan base. But listen to this stat.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 19 games that Mike McDaniel has coached for the Dolphins, 19 games, he's only beaten 4 teams with a winning record.
Well,
4. And those four combined, he didn't beat nobody by more than 7 points. So he's only beaten 4 teams.
Who was it? I know Buffalo.
That was Buffalo.
The Chargers.
They didn't play the Chargers.
No, we lost to the Chargers because they had a losing record.
That's right. They lost to the Chargers, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even recall the 4 teams. It's probably 2 from last year.
Today.
All of them should be last year.
Let me see. I know they beat
the Ravens.
That's 2. Okay, I'll give him that. Now, how many wins do you have against winning teams?
He has 1 win. I said he's 1-5 the last 2 years against winning teams. 1-5.
Yep. He's actually 0-6 after that Ravens game against winning teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So he's only beaten 1 winning team. I mean, 2 winning teams: Buffalo and Baltimore.
And Pete, you know what pisses me off? These Tua guys bring up the fact that he beat the Ravens, but forget he was trashed the first 3 quarters of that game. I don't care about the fourth quarter. I understand the fourth quarter is important, but he was trashed that whole game. Like,
Anthony, I've said it before, bro. I've played on teams that, when my team was dominating the other team, this is real life. When we were dominating, bro, we go to sleep back there. You're just waiting for the ball, hoping it comes your way, but you're already out. You already beat them. Your mentality is sunk. And the Ravens came out of halftime with their mentality that's it. This guy's trash. We won. And they just fell asleep, and it creeped on them. And Tua was able to do a little damage in the fourth quarter, which you got to give him credit for. And he came back and won. But that's just about it. That was
the Buffalo game too, Pete. Also, I've talked to Uncle about this game multiple times since the end of last year. People, the playoff game specifically, not with taking away Skyler. People forget that it didn't start snowing till the fourth quarter, like horrible snowing and wind till the fourth quarter, right, Uncle?
Like, it only started snowing until like 10 minutes or 9 minutes left in that fourth quarter, and I think we only had like 2 drives. One, he got 1 or 2 completions. He moved it a little bit and it stalled, and then his final drive, that was the end game sealer right there.
Yeah, couldn't do nothing. And that's what pisses me off. When I bring that up, I get like when I say that, people.
It doesn't matter. Just when you start talking, Anthony, just make sure you say your mind and don't worry about what people think,
exactly,
bro. They could, and let me tell you something, Anthony. And when you notice a lot of these clowns out here, they tend to, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you're talking about Tua and how he can't throw in the snowy conditions. Guess what they're gonna tell you, these idiots? Guess what they're gonna tell you? They're going to say, well, Josh Allen isn't doing it, right? Trevor Lawrence is like, we give a crap about these other quarterbacks. We're talking about our quarterback. They tend to deflect and name other people like we give a crap about other people. Pete, we're talking about our guy. Keep that damn subject on that guy.
Here's the bottom line. This is the main reason why they don't come in here no more.
I don't care where they come at, but I got you, Mace. I think you told me.
I have the ammo against them when it comes to this
Mhm.
team and when it comes to the quarterback. And they know it. And by the way, Dolphin fans, he's back to I status. And you see this young man right here on the left, who we will celebrate later tonight when I do the night show.
Who's that?
You see this man right here on the left? He is your
Lamar
MVP.
Jackson.
He is your MVP. And I just read, let me read it for Pete. So Pete is going to start spreading the gospel about Lamar Jackson. I just read it a minute ago. Let me get it right now for all these fans of the rest of their teams. And this is including Patrick Mahomes, by the way. Let me read this for everybody, okay? After
You
this
got
week,
foul. Oh, go ahead.
after this week, when they go to Arizona, this is the Ravens' schedule the rest of the year, okay? Listen up, everybody. Seattle at home, okay? Week 9. Week 10, Cleveland at home. Week 11, the Bengals at home. Week 12 at Pete's Chargers. When they come back from the bye, the Rams at home. At Jacksonville, at San Francisco, Miami at home, Pittsburgh at home. The point I'm making is, if he goes 7-2, 7-3, the rest of the year, he is the most valuable player in the National Football League, partner.
Yeah, and Uncle, I've said this too. Like, and you've heard me
You
say
know
this
what?
multiple.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Anthony. This is quick. You know what, Mace? After you read that, he's
Yeah.
gonna win that MVP statue. You know when? After he embarrasses the Miami Dolphins late in the season. Go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
go ahead, Tony.
I agree with Pete. If he trounces us, it let's say he shuts us out, which might happen, and I understand people don't want to hear that. That might happen. He automatically gets the MVP. He
No.
That's what
Miami,
I thought about. He's
no,
gonna
no,
throw
hold
5
on.
touchdowns against us. He's
Miami
gonna throw it.
and Miami has been dismissed by the national media until they beat a good team. And after they play the Chiefs, I got sad news for Dolphin fans. You don't play nobody
kill the
until
Cowboys.
you play the Cowboys. So you got 5 games. You should win all 5.
No, we play the Chiefs in 2 weeks in Germany.
No, I said after the Chiefs game.
Oh, after the
They
Chiefs game.
don't
Okay.
play. They don't play nobody. Raiders, Redskins, Jets twice, and Tennessee. You should win all 5 games, Dolphin fan.
Yeah,
And once you lose to Dallas,
I hope Tannehill's healthy by that Dolphins game. I'll be
yeah,
honest with you.
that's
Tannehill
what this
versus
guy
I
said.
want to see Tannehill. Yep,
That's what Omar Kelly said.
me too.
He
and
wants to
and
see
and
Tannehill.
I also said this, and I've also said this, Pete, and you've heard me say this multiple times too. That the issue with our quarterback is he puts too much when you are in cold weather. You can't put too much air underneath that ball. You have to be like a Justin Herbert or a guy like Patrick Mahomes, where they could just on a dime with a lot, like they can cut through. They have a tight spot. Tua
Tony,
doesn't have that.
the problem with Tua, and he doesn't have a problem. He needs a running game. Philadelphia held them to 41 yards Sunday night on the ground.
Yeah. No, and that's a penalties too. Like Pete, the lack of penalties. Like how I think the NFL needs to investigate that. Really, like let's be honest. The NFL needs to investigate that. The referee's not calling any penalties whatsoever on the Eagles and stuff like that. Whatsoever. How is it that we have, I think it was 90 yards, not 100 yards in penalties, Mace, or something like crazy like that, and there was 0 penalties and 0 penalty yards for the Eagles. Explain that.
Home field advantage. And I know it was wrong. That was terrible. That the Dolphins, and I'm going to talk about it more tonight when the Dolphins only got 10 penalties and Eagles none. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense.
You said the Rams got screwed, Mace? Too?
Yeah. It was 4th and 1, and clearly Najee Harris didn't make it for the first down, and the referees gave it to him. And a lot of people in LA right now are very upset at Sean McVay that Sean McVay didn't go off on that. Mike McDaniel didn't say nothing about the penalties either. I told you what McDaniel said. McDaniel said, hey, until we beat good teams, we're not going to get any respect. And he's right.
Yeah. I'm almost done. Like I've said this multiple times, Uncle. Like I'm done. I'm getting sick and tired of this crap. Like
Sometimes
getting my hopes up at the beginning of the season,
because you
and
listen
then
to Poison.
Huh?
You listen to Poison.
Yeah, no, I listen to you. Then I go to that. Like I'm trying to get both sides, but now I'm starting to like become a cynic. Like I'm a young fan, but I'm becoming a cynic like you.
It's a damn shame that you have seen this franchise do nothing in your entire life.
Yeah, no. Hey, Uncle. Did you see that? Apparently, the what happened? Oh, you said something about the Lions too, Mace. Right? That the media made a mistake in hyping them up too soon.
Yeah, now the media is going to leave them alone because it's what Lamar Jackson, folks, is the big story in the NFL right now. Detroit's been dismissed. Miami's been dismissed. Lamar is the big story in the NFL right now.
I'm back. Anthony, I had 2 points. I actually had one for Mace. I forgot what I was gonna say. What Mace was just saying a little while ago. But Anthony, what you were saying about the weather games? Prepare, bro. The ball floats. The timing is off. He expects the receivers to be in a certain spot off of an out route or an breaking in route, right? Imagine the receiver slips. If the receiver slips, Tua's not looking at that. He's just gonna throw it to Tyreek Hill's spot. When it starts raining or it gets cold, the ball weighs a little bit heavier. So Tua's gonna he's gonna have overthrows. Like, this is why I tell people, you don't buy in. You want to sell the beautiful bad teams. He's out producing. He's at home doing good in the sunny hot weather. No. Watch when this guy hits December, and there's even in the Hard Rock, even in his own home, it could be cold, it could be rainy. It's not gonna work. He's gonna have to depend on an elite running game. I wouldn't be shocked if we trade for a running back, and a big one too, Saquon Barkley, a Derrick Henry, a Jonathan Taylor. You know why? Because it's needed for this guy. He can't work without a running game. Jay Fiedler, he would have never worked if Ricky Williams wasn't on this team.
Yeah. God damn it. Yeah, no. And Pete, for me, I want a running back, but I've also said this. Like, is this guy on Uncle? Did you see if David Long is on concussion protocol?
No, it's Javon Holland.
I thought our didn't they say our guy, they put him on concussion protocol during the game?
Yeah,
David Long?
No, he went. I think he went.
Oh.
Also, let me say this. The Dolphins only played one cold weather game all year, and that's at Baltimore. Four of their last five games for the Dolphins are at home. Tennessee, Jets, Dallas, and Buffalo.
And I thought the last Jets game.
That game is in Miami.
No, I thought both Jets games are at the end of the season.
Nah. Is Buffalo, Baltimore, and Dallas is the end of the season.
When do we play the Jets? What are the two?
Week 12. And it doesn't get that cold in New York around Thanksgiving. So the weather should be like 50 degrees.
Okay, so it never really gets. It
Yeah,
doesn't get.
Baltimore is gonna be, but it is windy here at the Meadowlands. So what you're asking about, you'll get it against the Jets.
Uncle, seriously, like for at least you can brag about like, and the sad part about it is, Uncle, is they're 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 putting this kid high on a pedestal, and they're already like such high. He's a My God, he's a regular season. To me, Tua's a regular season quarterback. I don't think he's a playoff quarterback, in my
Well,
honest opinion.
let's see them. Let's see Miami first of all make the playoffs because it's not going to be easy for them now. 'Cause I'm going to say it again. Baltimore 5-2, Cleveland 4-2, Pittsburgh 4-2, Bengals 3-3. And the scary thing about those four teams, by the time it's week 11, after week 11, they all play each other 5 times already. That means they're all going to be battle tested and they're going to win big against the rest of the NFL.
I think for me, I've said this multiple times. I think the NFC North is the toughest division in the league.
You mean the AFC North?
Yeah, AFC North. AFC North. My mistake.
It is. It is.
It used to be the NFC West.
Yeah, it's now the AFC North. They got the teams. And
Yep.
like I said to you earlier, with Pete, I can shut those guys down in here anytime I want to. Because already the experts proved me right about that quarterback. See? The commentary last week that Mike McDaniel ducked. Is it the quarterback or is it the system? Now we know it's the system. Eagles proved that the other night.
Yeah, and this is why I'm saying, honestly, I don't think, like, even if he gets us to the playoffs and he loses, I don't think we sign him to a contract.
That I will talk about that later in the year because there's word on the street they're not ready to sign him. And after 6 games, he only has 15 touchdowns. There's 4 quarterbacks tied with him, and Kirk Cousins lead the league in touchdowns.
Wait, Kirk Cousins is tied?
No, he's the NFL leader in touchdown passes.
How is that possible? How is that possible that Kirk is the league leader in touchdowns?
And I'll tell you right now, if I'm Brock Purdy, watch your step. Because the one quarterback Kyle Shanahan loves is Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins will be an unrestricted free agent. Minnesota already said they're going to take a quarterback in the draft. So, next year's draft.
Hey, Mace, is it too soon for like let's say you're saying you've already predicted this. You think they're going to promote Kellen Moore to the head coach position?
Yeah.
Do you think if that happens, do you think since he signed, is it too soon for him to demand a trade after that extension?
No. I will say this right now. I think he'll stay, but I think what he's going to learn the hard way is it's going to be a long time before that team wins anything.
Yeah, he's going to be a Phillip Rivers.
Exactly. Yeah, the franchise is inept. I mean, how the hell you lose to well, you can lose to the Chiefs.
So,
they
fellas,
had no clue for Kelsey. Kelsey destroyed them this week with what's her name dancing in the luxury suite. I showed that.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
We were all laughing about that. Yeah.
Hey, Canes.
Yeah,
what's up?
Let me see something. See if this clown emailed me. Yeah, man. Yeah, guys. I mean, you know. Hey, look. Is Miami a good team? Yeah, they are. They're very good.
Overrated a little bit, but
no,
they're good.
Again, Tony, they're done. The national media has dismissed them already.
What a
Oh my!
shame.
Case, what a shame.
Mace, I'm losing whatever hair I have left watching this
Case,
team.
your boy is elevated now. Even I'm gonna glorify him later tonight after when I come back.
Who's my boy?
Who's your boy?
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson.
of course.
The man who Chris Greer said, quote, if you trade for him, fire me. Stephen
Yep.
Ross should have fired him.
You see how that turned out.
Yeah. Do you think? I have a question, Uncle. Do you think Stephen Ross fires this whole front office?
Next year.
No, during this offseason?
No. He
Next
always gives
offseason.
his coaches 3 years.
No, not the coaching staff. I'm talking about the front office.
No, you can't fire Greer. Why are you going to? Greer's done a hell of a job. He's not playing. It's the players. And in my opinion, the players have played well. Again, I think a big problem with Miami, I keep saying this.
Quarterback.
The 2 games they lost, they didn't run the football. They stopped the running game.
Yeah, no, and I've said this. Like, for me, Mike Shanahan, I've said this. Like, the 2 coaches that have this serious issue, that this arrogance where they have to be the smartest man in the room, are McDaniel and
Nah, McDaniel's
Shanahan.
not like that. McDaniel's cool. The clown Staley is the one with the big ego.
Mister, I haven't made any mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Did you see that? Did you see that press conference after the loss of the Chiefs?
No, I didn't see him act like a fool again.
Yeah, he's like, this is all Justin Herbert's fault that we lost this game.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he actually said that out of his own mouth.
Wow. And they're on Sunday Night Football this week. You're never going to see me get off the air from this channel as soon as that Bengal Niner game is over. The second that game is over, I'm going to be thanking people with 5 minutes left for pulling up on Sunday. You cannot show 2-5 Bears against 2-5 Chargers. What the hell is wrong with NBC? Hell, you show Jackson.
What's wrong with the NFL? Like, what possesses them? Like, I've always wondered what happens with the NFL when they put these losing teams on. Was it? I understand the Chargers because they expected them to have a better record. They didn't expect them to be this bad. So I can't understand the Chargers, but the Bears, really?
Yeah, man. I mean, wow.
Is it?
All I could say is that.
Is it because they're an original 6-team, Mace? That's why they get so many.
Yeah, yeah, you're right about that, Tony. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Them and the Cowboys. When I look at the Sunday night, the primetime games every year, it seems like they have the most.
Yeah. It's true, bro. It's true.
And the Cowboys really haven't. The Bears haven't done anything the past few years.
Last 19 years.
Neither have. Well, the Cowboys have made the playoff once.
The Cowboys haven't made an NFC championship game in 28 years.
Since the 90s, right, Mace?
Oh, don't worry. Dallas's death march begins week 13. Seattle, Seattle, Philadelphia, at Buffalo, at Miami, Detroit. Go ahead, Canes.
I was gonna ask y'all, and your guys' opinion, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
With the performance we had versus the Eagles, do you think we beat the Chiefs or the Cowboys or no?
No.
The Chiefs, maybe. Dallas, yes. Yeah, but I will say this. Who's my man? I should know this. Oh, Dan Quinn's gonna have a defense for this offense. Basically, I'm just gonna say this right now. When Miami finishes the Chiefs, all their games until they get to the Cowboys are winnable. Winner. Because you go into the Dallas game 11-3, people are gonna be fired up for that game. Don't split with the Jets. You're gonna beat Tennessee. You're going to beat the Raiders. You're going to beat the Redskins. Don't split with the Jets. Sweep the Jets.
And it's weird. People have been saying if we lost to if we had beaten the Eagles, people are now saying this game against the Patriots is going to be a trap game after we lost to the.
No, it's not. No one. I got news for you. Know what? They're playing Sunday against New England, right?
Yes.
I'll roast them on Sunday.
No one we just gotta show up.
No one takes the game. No one cares about Patriots, Dolphins. I'm not even paying attention to it this week. I got Steelers and Jaguars this week. I don't even care about Dolphins and Patriots. Dolphin fan, do yourself a favor. Stop being delusional. And let me throw in one more thing. I know the national media is glad Marino's off the top 10 now because of Patrick Mahomes' greatness. The main reason why you don't get no respect, Dolphin fan, is because, I'll say it again, the things that come out of your mouths turns people off.
Yeah, like saying that Tua is way better than Dan Marino.
Yeah. And that's why people, they know who's close to your heart. It's your quarterback. That's why everybody destroys your quarterback.
Uncle, who do you want the Dolphins to trade for during the who are your top 3 targets that you want the Dolphins to it's one running back and two other positions. Who do you want them to trade for?
No, they don't need a running back. The running back, they're fine. H-Chain be back to the Chiefs. Running game is
Hello?
fine. Yeah, I'm right here, Canes. Ears?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. Running game is fine. Problem with the Dolphins is they need linebackers.
Hey, they got Meg Whites.
Yeah, and linebackers are not easy to get at the trade deadline. Speaking of that, did the Eagles pull off a coup yesterday, getting Kevin Byard?
Oh, I saw that.
From the Titans.
Okay, yeah, I don't have eggs.
You basically.
I got egg whites here.
Who's here?
All right, sorry. All right.
They got the hardest hitting safety in the NFL for nothing. For 2024, 4-5. Are you kidding me? And you wonder why, even though at the time when that trade came out for Wentz, and it was first reported got 2 third-rounders, and I didn't want to kill him, but I had to for the moment. That is why Howie Roseman is the best GM in the NFL.
Here's my top targets. I want your opinions, Uncle. I agree with you. It's going to be hard to get a linebacker.
2 linebackers to boot. That's what they need.
Okay. I'm going to give you, my God, who's the guy that, there's a middle linebacker from the Colts. Not the Colts. My God. What's it's a young kid. Forget the linebacker. I'm looking at Ashton Davis and Patrick Surtain.
Surtain's not going to happen. And Ashton Davis, what team he plays for?
What were you saying, Uncle Sar?
What team does Ashton Davis play for?
He plays for the Ashton Davis plays for. He's a free safety for. He's the. He's Kevin Byard's mate.
What's up, Kane?
So he's on the
Yeah.
Jets.
Oh, Ashton Davis on the Jets.
Yeah, they ain't gonna give him up.
They're not giving him up.
You're gonna have to give up the farm system for him.
And again, Miami defense ain't bad. They just need some linebackers.
Yeah. Why is it that offensive linemen and linebackers are the hardest positions to trade for, Uncle? You think?
You mean pass rushers and offensive tackles?
No, linebacker. It seems middle linebackers too have been hard to trade for during the deadline. Also,
I think if I'm the Dolphins
Uh-huh.
moving forward, but then again, I get the feeling that if they don't get it done this year, next year, they're going to be a whole new everything in Miami. And
that
this
whole coaching
time,
staff is going to be fired.
and yeah, this time if I'm Stephen Ross, for once in your life, old ass, go get yourself a big name coach. You had Doug Peterson right under your nose. You let him go work with fucking Trevor Lawrence. The same Doug Peterson, I might add, you fucking dumb old fucking fuck, who won Don Shula's 325th win.
You're gonna go the opposite.
I mean, enough, bro. Do like Artie Moreno's going to do in Anaheim, finally. He said if he loses Ohtani, he will sell the team. And the owner of the Warriors would like to buy the team.
Who? Let's say. I don't think it happens, but let's say hypothetically, Mace. Who do you think would make sense to buy the Dolphins?
Whew.
Do you think a guy like Mark Cuban would ever do that? Because he was a big Dan Marino. He was a Dolphins fan growing up.
I think the location. Does he like the quarterback?
I can name somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Either Mickey Harrison or former Dolphins get together as a group and buy them.
I don't think the former Dolphins. Mickey Harrison. People are already turning on Mickey.
Well,
Calling him cheap.
Of course they're turning on him. Of course. Of course they are.
They're calling him cheap as hell. Like for me, I kind of understand. Like for me, I understand why Pat Riley and him didn't want to give up the farm for a Damian Lillard, because who wants to be paying a 36-year-old Damian Lillard? Did you say it was like 37 million, Uncle? 47 million?
61 and 63 million his last 2 years.
Yeah. And now I understand why he wants to back off of James Harden. It's the same issue. James Harden's getting paid way too much.
I think with the Heat, and I said it before, and I said this the other day. You wasn't up here, Tony. The Miami Heat got fortunate. They got lucky with the 5th pick in the draft. They got their franchise player exactly 20 years ago. And what they did was, in that young player's timeline, they went to 1, 2, 3, 4. They went to 5 NBA finals and got 3 championships out of it. So, you know what the answer is, Tony? Get bad and get lucky at the top of the draft and get you a franchise player. I mean, Wade paid dividends for you, didn't he?
Yep.
Huh? Well, get yourself another Dwayne Wade.
We're gonna have to lose then.
There you go. I'm not laughing at what I just, what you just said. I'm laughing because common sense, and the Heat knows this. They're not stupid. in their timeline, in Dwayne Wade's timeline, they did everything right.
Yeah,
I think what they found out is Jimmy is not who they thought he was.
well, the man doesn't have any decent help other than Hero and Bam,
I'll say
and
it
you
again.
can't win a championship with just those three, man. You need more pieces.
Yeah, but you know what Miami will tell you?
What?
We got to the finals with guys off the street, guy working at Walmart.
But it's not good enough.
No, I'm not arguing with you. You're right. But they don't know. They don't realize that, though.
They got to realize that, man. They have to. Riley ain't that stupid.
He's not stupid, but he's very pompous.
Of course.
Arrogance.
Yeah. The track record is tremendous.
He earned the right, like he earned the right to be that arrogant.
Exactly. And the only reason why he gets pissed on because his best friend is Jerry West, and he's considered the greatest GM of all time. And then this is the part that if I'm a Heat fan, I will bristle. He is being punished for what he did to the New York Knicks 30 years ago, I might add.
Well, see, that's just outright pettiness, to be honest.
And for you Miami guys, let me throw in one more. You guys thought I was kidding. Okay. You know I don't like Rob Manfred, right?
Yeah.
No.
After this World Series, he's going head on at the Miami Marlins for what they did to Miss Ng.
Oh, yeah. Yep, they did.
See, no, Mace, I have a question. No, I'm being honest. I know you're cracking up, but this is an honest question. Did the Marlins break any law, like any rules, firing Kim Ng? Or
they didn't break any law, but everything is coming out now even more. They discriminated against her because of race, because of gender. And Rob Manfred got all the information. Just that right now is World Series time.
No. Actually, there's actual other reports saying that she became too power hungry.
That's not true, Tony. Everything came out a week and a half ago. Number Kings, I read it to you.
Yeah.
I read it up here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't here, so that's why. Because there's reports I'm reading that say she became power hungry.
And Tony, one more thing. And this is going to rub you off right now.
What?
The women groups are coming after them too.
The Marlins are in trouble.
No, and apparently, like the perception of her, she would what was it called? The Red Sox denied her in an interview recently.
Tony, the Marlins are up Schitt's Creek right now.
Yep.
Everybody knows what they did wrong. And also they're gonna promote a flunky to be the new GM. It ain't the Astro guy either.
Oh, they fired the Astro guy too?
No, they didn't fire him, but it's not gonna be him.
They're gonna have a yes man?
Yes.
Well, sorry, Marlins fans. We ain't win anything anytime soon.
No, and who was the guy that you said? I have a question, Mace. Who was the guy that you said would have been a perfect, like, to smooth this over? Who was the guy that you said the Marlins should have hired again?
Oh,
who was that former GM that you talked about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
not the former Mets guy.
Billy Epler. Yes.
Epler. Yeah, Epler.
They should have hired him right away. See, if they would have died, then people in baseball would say, all right, Billy's getting another chance. Okay, Billy's a good guy. We love Billy.
Or Thiel, or the other guy. They said we were looking at Chaim Bloom.
Jesus Christ, really? Marlins.
Well, why do you say it? Why do you say it like that?
I'm gonna leave that alone. But I said this earlier when I first came up, waiting for platinum, and I said that the Texas Rangers, and I said it a year ago, hit a grand slam getting Bruce Bochy. And in 1 year, he's in the World Series. And most likely he's going to win the championship because, like I said, if I'm the Philadelphia Phillies, you do not want to get into a slugfest with Texas. You're going to lose every time. You're going to lose. One thing Texas can do, folks, they can hit with anybody on the planet.
Hey, Mace, I have a funny question. Do you think, let's say they, do you think they're keeping Chris Russo's hated enemy in Oakland for the?
I'm going to surprise you. I think Billy Beane leaves after next year.
You think he leaves and retires, or do you think he tries to get a job in another franchise?
He'll probably go to another low-budget team like your team.
How about Billy Beane? No, you're laughing, but it's a serious question. Would Billy Beane smooth everything over?
He will easily smooth everything over, yes. Except
he could be the head of baseball operations, and then he hires a GM.
Yeah, except for Chris Russo, of course.
Yeah, Chris Russo hates him. I remember that. I remember that. I think you.
I played it for you, yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ! I never heard someone hate someone so much.
It's true. Yeah, he can't stand beat.
Who's the most hated G? Is it just Chris Russo that hates Billy Beane, or do other media members hate him too?
What's up, nephew? Oh no, this Chris Russo hates.
No, thank you. I don't want Beane.
He hates Beane, and you know he hates the two Yankee clowns.
Yeah, no, I don't want Beane. No, thank you. I pass.
You don't want Billy Beane?
No, thank you.
Wow.
What? He's taking a low budget team 4 times to the playoffs. What do you mean?
No, thank you. Someone better.
I will take Billy Beane in a heartbeat.
There's Theo Epstein.
What about your GM in Cincinnati, that boy? You like him?
I mean, he's all right. I wouldn't mind Billy Beane in Cincinnati.
That boy, what's up?
Hey, Vader.
Yeah,
what's going on,
Mrs. I can see him in Cincinnati. Yeah,
I think he would go in. To me, I think what would happen with Billy, I think he would if he gets fired, if he leaves the Las Vegas A's, he goes to the Midwest, maybe becoming a consultant for another franchise that has an established GM.
I think Miami be good for him. Lifestyle.
I have to be honest, Mace.
He's a good-looking guy. Drafts tremendously well.
Hey, Mace, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I was a GM and I was looking around, I would stay the hell away from Miami. After what they did with Miss Ng, stay away from them.
I know it's personal for you, Canes. I'm not going to get into that up here, but I know why you way you feel. And I was fucked up with it too, bro. And like I've been hearing, because all these baseball shows have been in my algorithm, so I listen to all of them. And like Ken Rosenthal said, they will pay. They will pay the market.
Yeah, because you just don't treat somebody like that. After what she's done in 1 year.
No, and you know what? I can, because I'm not defending what they did, but she was brought in by Derek Jeter. Like, that's a Derek Jeter person. I'm not defending what they did to her, but I think this guy wanted to hire his own GM.
Tony,
It's
let me
bad.
ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Did the Marlins make the playoffs this year?
Yes, they made the playoffs.
Other than me, was anybody else picking to make the playoffs?
Actually, there was someone on MLB Network that picked them.
Anyway, let me get to the point. She did a tremendous job with a budget, a
Yeah.
major budget.
Yeah, and they kicked her out. Oh, we don't want
They-
you no more.
They're calling her the boss bitch now. All the women groups and the women in the media, they're all calling her the boss bitch of baseball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a compliment to her.
Yeah, no, and I understand. I'm not defending what the Marlins did to her, like how they treated. They could have handled it better, but like that's the issue. They handled it horribly, Mace. That's why everybody's turning on. If they didn't do what they did, just say This is what's his name? Bruce Sherman should have said. We mutually agreed to a parting ways and stuff like that, and I want to hire my own GM. She was connected to. She was more. Her and DJ Slavic or whatever were Derek Jeter people and
Tony,
stuff like
you
that.
know that the woman, let me rephrase it, that the lady wanted to go out and get a big fish and they tied her hands. You know
Yep.
Oh yeah, did they? I think you were
you
reporting
know
that she wanted to get Otani, right?
There you go.
And they weren't having that.
I don't know what it is with these mid-market teams, Mace. Except for the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, yeah, they're a small market.
No, like small market team. Except for the Cardinals and the Reds, it seems like most mid-market teams are very cheap.
And
Why is that?
Detroit spends money.
Huh?
The Tigers spend money.
Oh, yeah, the Tigers too. Like
Yeah, they got
besides them, it seems like the Indians are cheap.
Yes.
The Pirates are cheap.
Yes.
Yep.
The Rays are cheap.
Yes.
The Marlins are cheap too.
The White
The
Sox
Marlins are cheap. The Oakland is cheap.
Yeah, but that's going to change next winter.
Yeah. Did you see how horrible did you see reports coming out that the owner refused to rebuild that stadium, the Coliseum?
Yeah, also what's going to be a bad look. The fans out there, what little fans they have, is already angry. You know, in 3 calendar years, make it 5. They have lost the A's, the Warriors. They're going to lose the A's. They lost the Warriors and the Raiders. Basically, the city of Oakland is going to be desolate when it comes to sports. And I already heard that the fans there are pissed at. I think that's going to get ugly come September next year.
I have a question. When the Raiders left, did they blame Al Davis or the city?
They blame the city.
They were behind Al Davis the whole time.
Yeah, they were behind Mark Davis, Colonel Sanders, as
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, somebody. But the scary thing about that is the A's. Why the fans are angry? They live out there. We don't. But the one thing they know, the A's are going to get casino money galore. And in the blink of an eye, the A's are going to be damn good in 25. And unfortunately, the Oakland fans are not going to be able to see it. And that's going to piss them off forever.
Uncle, I have a question. Like, let's say both of let's say that deal for that stadium that the Rays are trying to build falls through.
Yeah.
Instead, do you think actually you still think the Rays move before the Marlins, right?
Yeah, but I think by the end of a decade from now, there'll be no Florida teams in baseball. They may even downsize the A's. I forgot what they call that when they dismiss a couple of teams. I could see the A's being one of them. I mean, the
defunct,
Marlins being one of them.
defunct, become defunct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So you think the MLB downsizes, basically?
Yeah, I could see the Indians, the Marlins,
The Pirates,
the Pirates,
even though they have a tradition in the league,
and the Rockies being terminated.
If that happens, shoot, I'll be happy as a Canes fan. Go get a stadium.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
can.
think if I'm the Hurricanes and baseball does that, I would take the Marlins Stadium, make it into their stadium.
Yeah, I would tear that thing down and build our own. We don't need that stadium.
No,
Yeah.
actually, you can actually have you can keep that stadium and change it to a
football stadium.
Yeah,
Bro,
you can
it's an eyesore if you're honest.
Yeah,
You ask me.
Canes don't like no stadiums in Miami. Yo, that boy, what's up, bro?
Good.
How was your day, man?
What's up, that boy?
Doing all right. I'm doing all right. What's going on with y'all?
Good, man. I'm ready to get the hell out of here in a few and cook my dinner, bro. Then I'll be
Okay.
back at 8:15, and we're gonna do everything, including something you really don't want to hear about. Lamar Jackson, MVP to lose. Let me ask you a question.
I've been hearing about it.
What does it mean to you? Because we faced Brady for 20 years.
Right.
How effed up it is for you that you always gotta compete against Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
It's part of being in the division that you're in. It's always tough. Every year is tough. It was like that in the '90s when it was the NL
Oh yeah, I
Central.
remember it. Yeah.
Or I said the
They
NL
had the
Central.
Oilers in that division back then.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
always
Jaguars.
been right.
the AFC Central.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
they had a
Oilers
Central
team.
division in football
Yeah,
before.
the East, Central, and the West. Yeah. The
So
Central.
in both conferences,
Yeah, the Central in the AFC was the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, the Oilers, and then the Jaguars.
Okay.
And in the other league, it was the Vikings, Packers, Bears, Lions, and the Buccaneers. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think would it be cool to have the division set up like that again, Uncle, or no?
I'm hearing that they will put the teams like closer to rotation. Like if you see the AFC North, that's going to stay the same. But a team like the AFC East will change. They will move the Dolphins out, and they'll put the Dolphins with Jacksonville, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay.
Oh, so they're gonna have the two. They're gonna, and where would they move? Where would they move New Orleans?
New Orleans would be with Dallas and whoever. Dallas, Houston, and
see, Vader and Uncle. I have a question for you guys. This apply. Why is it that traditional football fans hate when they like? You can still keep your rivalries. You don't really necessarily have to be in the same division. Like, do you guys agree?
Ticket sales. Like, if the Dolphins left the AFC East now, I don't think they would care.
Okay.
They'll go. You know,
That's part of.
You're not the Patriots go.
That's part of what makes a rivalry is the divisional rivalries.
Yeah, the North will stay the same. That won't change.
That interdivision rivalry. That's one of the reasons why there's a whole playoff weekend called the divisional round. It's such important. Who's in your division and who's not? Like that's
no. For me, the Colts. Me and Uncle talked about this, Vader, too. That it would have made more sense to have the Colts, the Dolphins leave the AFC East and have the Colts stay in the AFC. Have the Dolphins leave and the Colts stay.
That don't sound bad at all.
The Colts are close. distance-wise, the Colts are. How far is Indianapolis driving-wise from New York, Uncle?
A lot.
Or
Indianapolis,
flying-wise, like
about an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would have made more sense to keep the Colts and have the Dolphins in the AFC South with the Titans and the Jaguars and the who's the other NFC South AFC South team? In that
Houston. They'll put them with the Cowboys. That would be Houston, New Orleans, Tennessee, and Dallas.
we would be it would be Atlanta. It would be Atlanta, Tennessee, Miami, and Tampa.
No,
And
Jacksonville, Miami, Tampa, and Atlanta. Yeah.
That would be honestly driving wise. Tampa's only 3 hours away from 7 hours away from Atlanta. Miami's maybe 10, 15 hours. Flying wise, it's only a 30-minute flight and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's why they would do it. Yeah, it makes everybody happy.
But I already
go off the air real quick.
And it would cut down on travel time in general for team. Having all the teams close to each other.
Yep.
Like driving one. How far is Cincinnati from Pittsburgh and Cleveland and stuff? Like you're pretty close. How far are you from Pittsburgh if you wanted to drive there, Vader?
It's like a 3-hour drive.
3 hours?
Yeah.
And Baltimore, the same?
No, Baltimore's like a 5-6 hour drive.
Yeah, that's a long ride from him going down to Baltimore.
Cleveland's a 3-hour drive.
There you go.
If that.
A bit about Indianapolis.
Indy's like a 2-hour drive. If that.
2-hour drive?
2.5 if you go.
Are you pretty close to Detroit and Chicago?
Detroit's a 4 or 5 hour drive.
And Chicago's what, 6?
Chicago's a 6-hour drive.
Are you pretty close?
I told you guys this, Manzon. He wasn't up here the other night. I said this to the audience. If you live in the Midwest part of the country, if you got a car, you can go to a lot of cities. Indianapolis, Nashville, Kansas City. No, Kansas City's a little trek, but you can get there. St. Louis, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, Cincinnati,
Green Bay,
and Kentucky is right next to you, right, that boy?
Yeah, right over the river.
Do they consider Kentucky the South for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia.
Yeah, Missouri's a weird state. Parts of Missouri is considered the South. Parts of Missouri is considered the Midwest. Like St. Louis and Kansas City are the Midwest, but once you get to the bottom part of Missouri, those people consider themselves part of the South, which is the oddest thing.
You're down by Arkansas.
Can you get to Green Bay pretty fast from Cincinnati?
That's
a track. Yeah. Green Bay. When you say Green Bay, Milwaukee, Minnesota, we talking 6+ hours.
St. Paul.
You gotta go all the way up. You do know, Tony, that Green Bay is 250 miles north of Milwaukee?
No, I've never been up to that area. That's why I'm asking.
Especially this time of the year, bro. Those snowmobiles, I couldn't live in a place like Minneapolis and Green Bay where you need snowmobiles to get around. That's crazy.
And you say, with Minnesota, are you closer to Minneapolis or St. Paul?
Minnesota's the state.
In terms of the city.
I know where the Minnesota Wild Place is, right in front of the Amtrak station. You see the arena is gorgeous. It's all plexiglass. You could see inside the arena. They got all the high school hockey teams represented. It's
Do
nice.
the Twins play in Minneapolis?
Detroit?
No, the Twins.
Yeah.
So all the major teams, like the basketball, like in Minnesota, are
Yeah.
in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Nicer said that the Twin Stadium is way out. But it's in Minneapolis, but it's out. It will be like if you live here in New York City, it would be like where the Mets play. That's way out.
Flushing.
Yeah, that's way out. Yeah. That's the trek to go out there.
Hey,
Yankee
Mace,
Stadium.
like how far are you from the new Islander Stadium?
Oh, that's in the suburbs. That's in Long Island, man. I'm like an hour and a half from there. That's way out.
And you have to take the Long Island Express.
The Long Island Railroad, yeah.
And
that's way out. Just like the Jets and the Giants are way out in that stupid Meadowlands they play in. Let me get out of here, fellas. It's time for me to cook my dinner, man. I'll be back at 8:15 to continue this. I'll bring everybody up early.
Did you say you're gonna tear into who did you say you were gonna tear into? It was an owner or a team. It was a GM or a player that we were talking about earlier.
Well, I gotta think.
All I heard was the crowning of Lamar Jackson and shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that tonight. You better believe it.
Did you see the media is already hyping the Lakers up to win the championship, Mace?
No, but Las Vegas got them 7th. I mean, if I'm somebody and I already did it, I would take the Lakers over 47.5. See, the media got to do that because this is what I said about Dallas the other day. Why the Lions, the hype, because what the media fears is if Dallas, let's say, goes 1-4 against those 5 good teams and they lose to the Eagles, okay, Dallas is dismissed. They'll have nothing to talk about. They don't want to talk about the Eagles.
They hate the Eagles.
Yeah, they do. Really, they do. Because they hate Philadelphia fans because Philadelphia fans are bullies. Yeah.
Do they hate Ravens fans too?
Yeah, they don't. The only reason why they give the Ravens love now because of Lamar. Back in the day when they had Flacco, they gave and Ray Lewis, they gave the Ravens no love. Remember that boy?
Yeah, I do.
They ain't give the Ravens no love.
See you later tonight, Uncle.
You too. I'll see you guys tonight. Hey, nephew, you pulling up?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys up early. We'll talk about everything. All right?
Yes, sir.
You got you, man. Love you guys. Thank you, audience. Hit that like button on your way out. Platinum Elite be up here tonight too. Good night. Good afternoon from the Oasis, everybody. Enjoy your dinner. Be safe on your way home, everybody.